James had been staring at the holographic display for nearly an hour, his thoughts drifting through fuel efficiency models and structural stress calculations, when Aliana's voice sliced through his concentration like a plasma torch through steel. "So," she said lightly, "you like my body?" James snapped his head up so fast he nearly gave himself whiplash. The Zerolian ambassador stood in the doorway of the observation deck, her bioluminescent skin casting soft blue patterns across the walls. Her 3 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture James had learned meant amusement. "No, yes, James stammered, his face flushing red. "I wasn't staring at you. I was thinking about the ship's structural integrity." Aliana glided into the room, her movements fluid in the low gravity. "The ship's body," she repeated thoughtfully. "Then you humans have very interesting expressions." She gestured toward the transparent aluminum viewport, where the massive human carrier vessel stretched across the stars. "I've been studying your species for 3 cycles," she continued, "and I still find your language fascinating." James exhaled in relief. "You meant the ship, of course. What else would you mean?" Her middle eye focused on him with unsettling precision. "Though your thermal signature just increased by 2.3 degrees. James turned back to his console, desperately trying to regain his composure. Aliana had been assigned as cultural liaison for the joint human-Zerolian mission to the Kepler belt. In 6 months of working together, he had come to respect her razor-sharp intellect, and to understand that Zerolians had very different ideas about personal space. "The structural modifications you proposed," James said, pulling up a schematic, "they're brilliant. I've never seen resonance dampening used that way." Aliana leaned closer, studying the display. Her skin shifted from blue to a warm amber. Contentment. "Your species builds with such aggression," she said. "Everything reinforced, over-engineered, redundant systems layered on redundant systems, as if you expect the universe itself to attack you." "Maybe because it usually does," James replied with a faint smile. "Humanity learned early that space doesn't forgive mistakes. And yet you came anyway," Aliana said, her tone carrying something like admiration. "When the Zerolian collective first encountered humans, we believed you were either brilliantly brave or catastrophically foolish. Your ships barely achieved faster-than-light travel, held together with what our engineers called optimistic welding, and yet you were already colonizing hostile systems." James chuckled. "What's the verdict now?" "Both," she said instantly. "Definitely both." She pointed toward the carrier outside. "This ship, its body, as I am learning to say, represents something my people struggle to understand. You built it not just to survive, but to thrive in environments that would kill you. You don't adapt your bodies to space. You adapt space to your bodies. Is that so strange?" Her skin flickered rapidly, the Zerolian equivalent of laughter. "There are 47 spacefaring species in this sector. 46 altered their biology to suit the cosmos. Only humans looked at the infinite void and said, 'No, I think I'll stay human. Thanks.'" She pulled up comparative data. Species who restructured their cells, uploaded their minds, merged into hive intelligences. "But humans," she continued, "you just built better ships, stronger suits, tougher habitats. What's wrong with that?" James asked, smiling now. "Nothing," she said. "It's magnificent and utterly insane." Her middle eye fixed on him. "Do you know what the Galactic Council calls your species behind closed doors?" James shook his head. "The stubborn ones, the Deathworlders, the impossible survivors, and my personal favorite, the soft beings who refuse to admit they're soft." James laughed. "Compared to you, we kind of are." "You are," Aliana said, her colors brightening. "Your homeworld's gravity would crush most species. Your atmosphere would rupture Zerolian organs. And somehow you evolved there, thrived there, and then decided it wasn't challenging enough." She turned to the stars. 3 weeks ago, when the solar flare hit, I watched your crew. Radiation at lethal levels. Atmosphere venting. Any rational species would have evacuated. But you humans sealed your suits, flooded yourselves with medication that feels like fire in your veins, and fixed the ship. "Standard procedure," James said quietly. "No," Aliana replied. "Extraordinary. My people would have abandoned the ship, built a new one. You humans don't just resist death. You insult it." James joined her at the viewport. The carrier drifted past, scarred, repaired, unbroken. "Can I tell you something?" Aliana said softly, her skin settling into deep purple. "When I volunteered for this mission, My people warned me. Humans were too emotional, too unpredictable, too attached to fragile bodies. She turned to face him, all three eyes meeting his. Now I understand. You don't conquer space despite your weakness. You conquer it because of it. Every vulnerability forces you to build something stronger. Every limit becomes a challenge. You carry Earth with you. Not in your DNA, but in your will. James swallowed. Thank you. Her skin rippled gold. So yes, James, I like your body. The ship's body. The body of human achievement. It is beautiful because it should not exist, and yet it does. Outside, the stars rushed past, indifferent and eternal. Inside the observation deck, two beings from distant worlds understood each other perfectly. Want to help me redesign the port thrusters? James asked. I thought you would never ask. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.